Hello, another beer review. It's going to be Paulaner Hefeweizen. Now, this was actually my first real sort of favorite beer. That would not be a lager or anything, anything commercial and macro or brewed that most people actually start with when getting into beers. But this actually left a really solid and lasting impression on me first time I tried it. I was just offered by a friend just out of the bottle for this, I think, a number of years ago, and I enjoyed it so much. And after I actually travelled to Germany, and I happened to pass by Munich, and where this is actually brewed, and I had this on tap, I think, and I had tried a few other varieties of the brewery, and they're a number actually. They do all sorts of things. And here in Montreal, I think we can get about 3, and maybe they're actually closing some stock up. But this one's still sold. The reason that I actually haven't tried it in Montreal is the first time I'm going to be drinking this here. And the reason why is that it's gotten quite expensive actually. I don't know why. And the last time I had this was about almost 2 years ago actually, because I've gotten more interested in other types of beers, so this kind of, isn't in the spotlight anymore for me, I guess. But I'm really interested to try this out right now and see if my opinion is going to change. And that still brings back good memories and everything. So what I'm going to do for all the consecutive reviews is I'm going to use a book which is called Great Beer Guide. It was written by Michael Jackson, not Michael Jackson most people think of her. It's I think it's one of the most known beer critic. Unfortunately, he passed away a few years ago. But this guy travelled to like most countries that have sort of brewing traditions, and he tried over like thousands of beers, like quite literally. He knew more about beer than probably anyone else in the world would. And in this book, this one, it's not the only one actually, obviously, and I think there are over 500 varieties. All of them are pretty much great. Michael Jackson recommended these beers, and so yeah, Paulaner is one of them. And actually, there's another variety of the same brewery in this book, but for now we're just going to read the description about this one. It's a Hefeweizen, so natural wheat beer, which is the sort of flagman of the Paulaner brewery. Any country that sells Paulaner would have this. If anything at all, this would be the only one, or like the main one. So we're going to find the page. Yep. And so I'm going to read. The famous Paulaner brewery of Munich is especially known for its lagers, most notably its Salvator Double Bock. That was actually the original kind of double bock. Anyways, but in recent years, it has also responded to the youthful popularity of wheat beers. The most commercially minded breweries often produce relatively bland wheat beers, but the sizable Paulaner does offer flavour. Some example has the typical clove aroma of this style, with suggestions of honey and fruits, notes of peach, banana, perhaps even strawberry, and certainly vanilla on the palate, and a good malt background. So Michael Jackson suggested for this beer to be served at 9 or 12 degrees Celsius, and it's 5.5 alcohol by volume, which is like pretty much a standard for wheat beers. The Hefeweizens, the German wheat beers. And I've also I tried to research. There are a few ways of pouring this type of beer, and one of them I'm going to just attempt it right away, and it's kind of weird. For this pouring method, I have to open the bottle first, obviously, which I'm going to do right now. Yeah, one thing that got me really amused by this beer is the cap. I really like the cap. And so back to the pouring method. You have to cover up the bottle with a glass in a manner that the bottleneck, actually the top of the bottleneck touches the the bottom of the glass, and so I have to press on. I'm going to turn it over. Just have to make sure it actually stands that way. Yeah, that's pretty good. And slowly I'm going to let go and go up and up and up, and see the bear as it's going to pour, giving a nice sort of a head for the whites. And I'm sorry if you can't see the exact, the whole picture, but it's actually coming there. Okay, I'm gonna speed it up a bit, so I think it's going too slow. Good, yeah, it's gonna glock a bit. And the last of a portion, I'm gonna shake it up. So the sediment, this is a bottle fermented beer, obviously, and the key is to get the sediments on top. Obviously, this glass is a bit too big for this beer, but this is like the most fitting glass for with beer of my little collection of glasses. So yeah, we're able to get a quite nice foamy head. Alright, so that should be enough. So it's really cloudy, and if I compare it to the König Ludwig, which I've tried, which I've reviewed a few weeks back, this is the sort of the authentic white in color. It's kind of a cloudy, dark golden color, kind of like amber, and yeah, this is the type. This is a really good example of the style. So I'm gonna smell it now. So yeah, definitely the cloves are really you can really smell that, as well as the wheat, obviously. It's got a really bit of a smoky scent to it. I can't really explain. This was actually first time I tried it, I had the exact same thoughts, because I don't know why. It isn't obviously not a smoked beer or anything, and it doesn't use roasted barley, but nevertheless. So I'm gonna give it a taste now, because this is taking too long. Sorry. Yeah, real nice. Just as good as it was when I tried it first, and the consecutive times. But as I've said, I haven't had this for a while, so it's hasn't changed, thank God. Yeah, so very, very fruity. The cloves are one of the major notes and the major part of the flavor you can get. It starts out really refreshing. The finish is not bitter, and this is a good summer beer. Actually, now I feel that in the finish, quite apparent banana notes, and it's quite nice. Actually. I'm back to Paulaner Hefeweizen. So I'm enjoying this. This is just as good as it was before. The only thing I can sort of pick up with my slightly more experienced I don't know, taste or something, is that this is a light-bodied beer. It's not. The mouthfeel is quite light, which is good. It's a sort of a summer beer, and the aftertaste is just great. Nothing bitter. I like the sort of a bite to certain beers, but I wouldn't expect that from Hefeweizen anyway. So I really like the banana finish. And so overall, it's a great beer. It's a good example of the style. Probably not the greatest. Some people say it's not, but it's definitely not the worst. And I like the way they produce them. And they're definitely, if you can get a hold of other varieties of Paulaner, I really suggest you do, because they're great, and you won't be disappointed. And overall, so I gave this 8.5. I'm not going to change the rating. 8.5 out of 10. Paulaner Hefeweizen. It's a recommendation from me.